Hey there, I'm Lauren, aka the Soap Witch, and welcome to another edition of In the Making with the Soap Witch. So this one I'm doing my newly released wax melts, and this is just video of when I was actually testing. And I've gotten to the habit of videoing everything, and so you get to see my first attempts at me making a huge mess and figuring things out. So in this one I poured some lemon fragrance oil. Pretty sure lemon was the first one I did. And I poured it into uncolored wax. And then I stirred it all up. And then you saw me separate about an ounce out and then color it yellow. Stir that colorant in, and then I'm going to pour it very messily into the molds. These are silicone little witch hat molds because I thought they would be super cute, you know, me being the soap witch and all. And so then this one here is the honeysuckle lemon, and so I just pour half lemon and half honeysuckle. There's really no special way to it. And so then I stirred that into uncolored wax again. I stir it thoroughly. I don't stir it like for any exact length of time. I just stir it thoroughly. And then I'm going to take a portion of that, like I did with the lemon, and separate about an ounce out to reserve for later before I add the color. And then I added some red colorant, but I just don't add too much, and it turns into pink because soy wax turns very, very white when it solidifies. And if you only add a small amount of red, you get pink. Yay. So here again, messily pouring the wax into the molds. Yay. Yeah, this was a challenge for me, a very interesting challenge, because I don't usually work with such tiny molds. You know, I'm usually dumping something in a loaf mold for soap or something like that. So not sure which one this is. I think this is rose, actually. I think this is the rose scented one. And so with this one, same process. Before I put the color in, I put the fragrance in, split it out, and then I add the color in. I'm pretty sure this is rose because I use red again. And then give it a good stir to get the color all mixed in there, and then make a big mess pouring. I don't know how big of a mess I actually made, but you know, that just seems to be the common theme here, right? Soap which makes a mess. Anyway, so some people I've seen have a longer spout when they're pouring into these tiny molds, which I may invest in or not sure. But it seems like it might be a good idea because I'm excessively messy. All right, so this one I think is patchouli amber. That sounds right. Yes, that's what it is. I recognize the bottles. Patchouli amber. It was a new fragrance, so I don't actually have it in anything else except for this particular wax melt, but I thought I'd give it a shot because a friend of mine said she liked the fragrance, and I was like, why not try it? So she get for being friends with the Soap Witch. I may try stuff you like. So split it out. This time I actually had to make the colorant because I wanted it to be green. I'm pretty sure it's green, but I don't have green. So I mixed yellow and blue. I've done this with candles before. I don't know if I've ever posted videos though of candle making, so maybe I should. But anyway, I did yellow and blue to make green. And I feel like that makes me like fancy or something because sometimes I mix my colors. All right, anyway, so pouring the wax, the hot wax into the mold. So then after this, what I do is I let it solidify enough, and then I put them all in the refrigerator to get them nice and firm, and they come out of the mold so much easier. So here I'm just going to demold all these colors after they've been placed in the refrigerator and they're like fully solid, and it allows the wax that's kind of on top where I made the mess to come out easier. I kind of pull the sides to kind of detach the wax from the sides of the mold, and then I proceed as follows. So now the next step that I do is I take mica powder, and it's the same mica powder that I use for soap, and the one for resin is also fine too. Well, there's no mica powder specifically for resin, but just, you know, it doesn't have to be soap specific because you're not gonna wash with it or put it on your skin. But that's what I use because that's most what I have. All right, so anyway, I just take the mica powder as closest to the color of the wax melt that I have, and I sort of refined this process to some degree. When I first did it, I just took a random paintbrush. I'm sort of kind of trying to show you here that it just kind of brings out the definition from the mold a little bit better. It just kind of brings out those cute little stars and whatever shapes are on the hat better after I put the mica powder on there. But anyway, so it gives it a really pretty kind of sparkly matte finish that also just kind of brings out the detail better. When I first did this, I was kind of trying to put the mica powder like all over, including on the side, but I don't really think the sides matter that much, so I've just kind of moved to doing it on the top. Also, in future videos, you'll see that I stopped using the paintbrush. I've got a really good tip from some other groups that like a disposable like makeup sponge brush thing works better, and I tried it and I do feel like it works better, so I've switched to using that. But anyway, you know, that all just comes in the testing and trial and error. I do lots of that whenever I'm making a new product. I usually just don't film it so people can see it. So anyway, so okay, where was I? Oh yeah. Anyway, so I'm just gonna get the last of the mica powder on here, and the next part, I thought I was done. Sorry. Okay, the last of the mica powder on the green ones. I should pay better attention. The last of the mica powder going on the green ones, and you can just kind of see the difference just looking as I apply it. You can see the ones on the left definitely have a brighter, more vibrant look than the ones that don't have it on there. So that's really the purpose here. So luckily I have a ton of mica powders and enough to match all the colors that I intend to use for these lovely little wax melts. Okay, so now we're getting done here. Okay, last hat. And so the next step then is to drizzle color on top. So here I take the little smidgen that I left over with the fragrance in it. I add some color, stir it up, and then I just take a little pipette and I just I found that diagonal looks the best, so I just drizzle it on diagonally. That's also the big part of the reason that I'm using this silicone mat, is because I can drizzle it on there and make this mess, and I can reuse the mat. So some people use like parchment paper and all that, and your mileage may vary, and no judgment here, but I already had the silicone mat anyway, so I just felt like it'd be cool just to do it this way, and then avoid waste. So it's really easy to peel off of the mat once it's dry. Silicone's great for this kind of thing, but I'm just going to continue to drizzle it on there. Some people drizzle it into the mold first and then pour the larger amount of wax on top of that, but I feel like that makes it look more flush, and I kind of like the way it stands up and stands out on the piece doing it this way. So you know me, I gotta be particular, and that's what happened. So pretty much coming to the end of this one. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time.